Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Wild Smiles and Details webinar. We're going to give it a couple of seconds just as a few people join in, but we're glad you're here. And just give us a few seconds while we let people join in. All right. Yeah, we got some people jumping in. Perfect.
Rolling in.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and get started, and we'll kind of go over the agenda here for you. So we want to just kind of welcome you, obviously, to the evening and say thanks for joining us. We think tonight we've got a lot of really great information that will help your practice as you're looking to grow, or maybe you're looking to just kind of get things organized. So we think that tonight you'll really find a lot of value in that. I want to introduce you to Addison and myself a little bit. So we'll kind of get to that here in a minute. And then for those of you that maybe don't know a little bit about WildSmiles, we'll kind of go over a quick review about what WildSmiles is. And then we also want to talk to you about what kind of problem we're solving. And I think that's where Addison and I really think you'll find a lot of value in our time together this evening. And then finally, a huge part of the problem that we're trying to solve is introducing you to details and what they can do for your practice. And so Addison will go over some information about that. But so let me see if I can get my computer to move forward. So welcome, everybody. Addison, would you mind just giving us a quick introduction to yourself, who you are, and maybe even a high level about details?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, thanks for putting this on, Devin. Appreciate that. My name is Addison. I'm with Details, Vice President of Strategic Partnerships. I've been with Details for, I think, a little over a year now with Nick over at Details and Dr. Biggs. But yeah, Details is awesome. I'm not from orthodontics. That wasn't my background. I was in luxury retail for a long time, and Nick and I had reconnected, and he brought up Details and what he was working on, the problem that they're trying to solve within orthodontics. And I said, well, it seems like a no-brainer. That sounds like something everybody should have. And so I said, you gotta let me in. So luckily he did. And that's kind of what led me into orthodontics, which of course I'm grateful for, meeting people like you, Devin. And but yeah, that's kind of where we came from. That's how I got here.
I love it. Yeah, orthodontics is a great industry, and getting to meet all the people, Nick, I know a little bit about his story as well. Also another guy that came from, kind of outside of the orthodontic industry. And we, in a lot of ways, love working with people who are finding solutions to problems in the industry that kind of have this bigger worldview, bigger mindset, that they're from outside of the industry. And it's been really great to work with you guys and kind of see how you're bringing a really fresh approach to kind of solving this problem of chaotic inventory management and ordering. And I know you'll talk a little bit about it, but thank you for spending the evening and sharing a little bit about what you guys are doing. So we're really looking forward to hearing it. So my name's Davin Bickford, and I have been with WildSmiles now for about 17 years. And I also came from, now I'm in the industry, but came from outside of the industry. I'm a real estate and economics background, and was approached by Dr. Stevens, who started WildSmiles and just said, hey, we're looking to get this bracket company off the ground and trying to figure out how we can help kids have more fun with braces. And so that's, again, also kind of like you, Addison. I was like, well, that sounds like a no-brainer, super, super fun way to approach braces and to approach the orthodontic experience. And so here we are 17 years later, loving, helping kids and orthodontists love their braces experience. So that's a little bit about us. I kind of wanted to go through just really quick and set up, why WildSmiles and Details are starting this partnership. because what we're trying to do from our perspective for our partners, for our clients, is to really be, yes, we are a bracket provider, but we really want to make integrating WildSmiles into your practice as simple as possible. And we believe that part of that is being a solution-minded partner with you. And so we are at the core of what we do. We are about helping kids and orthodontists and your team have more fun with braces. That's as simple and as easy as it gets. Now, the how of what we do then grows onto that in terms of what we're going to talk about tonight with, excuse me, with bringing solutions to problems that we see our clients having. And so really being this solutions-minded partner in your practice. If you don't know, we have 3 different collections of braces that we offer. Our partnership with the Walt Disney Company, we have our signature collection braces, and with our college collection. And oftentimes for practices that don't work with us, the problem seems very, very glaring to them that, oh my gosh, this is going to be kind of a hard thing to manage with inventory, with ordering. And so we have worked really hard over those 17 years to create solutions to those problems so that when you get WildSmiles in your practice, ordering is not chaotic and hectic. Inventory management is not chaotic and hectic. It's very simple. And so partnering with Details takes this simplicity that we've kind of already integrated into the system, but just we're, leveling up that game that we have on our side to bring that solution to our practices. And so everybody in a practice needs to, compete in this new orthodontic economy is, increased case acceptance, consistent practice growth, products that patients easily understand. And of course, we want to help you increase your revenue. And so when you look at what we can do, especially with this partnership with Details, is we are really helping cut cost on your, on the back end, and then making life easy and ordering simple for your practice. And then all the benefits that WildSmiles brings on the front end with new patients, practice growth, increased revenue. So we're really a solution for the front end in bringing in more new patients. But then with partnering with Details, we're really helping kind of bridge that gap on the back end to make that side even better for your practice. And then at the end of the day for us, like I said, it's about creating fun braces experience. But then the ultimate goal is to help you drive more patients and make your practice offer an experience that's unlike any other in the industry and in your area. And so if we can do both, provide you a really great solution on the front end, and then help make it super simple to order and bring everything into one place, we feel like that's a win-win for the practices. And so we are so excited to kind of dig into this problem that we know everybody has. And Addison, this is where I really want to kind of take over here in just a second, because we've noticed that over the years, this problem of chaotic inventory management, somebody on the clinical staff has like 5 minutes to, place an order on their lunch break for, tens of thousands of dollars worth of inventory from 20 different suppliers. Right. And so if we can then bring together and help simplify and bring less stress to our clients, and then at the same time, give them back money and time, which is what you guys talk. I mean, this is where you guys really talk about. So start to share a little bit more about what that looks like and kind of the problem you guys are solving.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. First thing I say is you're describing this problem that a lot of orthodontic practices have. It's not you, it's the industry. There's just not, it's not you, personally. It's just the industry hasn't had a solution come along that's really been able to handle this problem within the practices. and it's something that we're tackling head on. So a little bit about details and kind of where we come from, who we are, what's in our DNA. It's incredible that we're really similar to WildSmiles. I think it's probably why we work so well together, Davin. And we have our co-founder is an orthodontist, Dr. Jeff Biggs, who noticed this very familiar problem within his practice. His lead clinical assistant, Stephanie, was less and less clinical and becoming more and more clerical. And that's not necessarily Stephanie's fault. It's just she's in the middle of this supplier cluster of trying to call one supplier to place an order, to write down an order for another supplier, to email their rep about questions on an order that didn't come through. Just she's the main point of contact for these 15, 20 suppliers that most of these practices are having to order through. And where details comes into play, we kind of come in and get right in between the middle of the suppliers and the practices. Davin, if you want to switch to the next one there. So yeah, this is exactly what we look like here. So we come in there in the middle and we remove that problem from Stephanie completely. So your lead clinical assistant, that's oftentimes the one responsible for ordering, is then freed up to see more patients, to do things around the practice that you initially hired that person for. That's they're talented at, that they're good at, that they're passionate about. I don't know a lot of assistants that are super passionate about ordering orthodontic supplies, but everybody's just happier when they're doing what they love to do. And that allows your lead clinical staff person to do so, and which in turn, is going to make the practice more money. Kind of going back into what Davin was talking about, they focus on improving starts and number of starts, and this allows you to have time to handle those instead of worrying about where your supplies are at. And then just something from our clients that we hear back. We love to hear feedback. But Dr. Brian Rochford is one of our clients as well, and I'll just read this quote from him. It means a lot to us to come from the orthodontist itself too, because we hear daily the impact we're having with the actual assistant, whose life is improved by, just as far as like a workload goes. She feels like she's supported in ordering those supplies and feels like she's making the right decisions for the practice, etc. But to hear from the orthodontist as well is always super great to hear. So and he said I don't know if you guys have ever met Dr. Rochford. He's a very funny guy, but I paid for details even if it didn't save me any money. The convenience of time savings alone has been incredible. My clinical lead is responsible for ordering, and I think she'd quit if we got rid of you guys. Which is a fun, like we hear that a lot. We're like, well, now that they're on there, it's like, I don't know that we can, that they want to operate without details anymore. So they are our hero, but it's also nice to hear from the doctors on the improvements that they're having within their practices too.
Addison, can I just jump in here real quick?
Please.
So I love this quote. But I think a lot of times doctors and team members too, they pay attention to the money, but they don't pay attention to the time it saves. And so maybe, I know you're probably going to go into this a little bit, but I just wanted to point that out, that we talk to so many practices that are so focused on the dollar amount, which that is a piece of this.
Right.
But the way I look at it and the way some of the other doctors I've talked to look at it, the time is really incredible. And we all know time, equals money to some extent. So
yeah, and
it's throw that out there.
I know for our co-founder, Nick, in particular, I know whenever he tells me this story, it speaks to me as well. And it's a kind of cliche, kind of cheesy, whatever you want to call it. But we get a call from from an assistant who's one of our clients, and she's in tears because she got to go see her kid's soccer game for the first time that season on the Friday afternoon because she didn't have to place all these orders. And so it's something like little wins like that also you don't really calculate. We don't calculate that into the savings, right? But that means a lot to us, and that we get to kind of take that and provide some relief in that area to these practices.
I love it. Yeah. Like you said, there's so many great synergies where, because we tell similar stories, on the front end, that like little kids come in and they're so scared about their orthodontic treatment potentially because they don't understand any of it. And then they see braces with hearts and stars. And then, this whole thing just of all this scary stuff melts away because they understand that. And so, just the ability to make someone, love their job a little more with you guys is the same thing we're doing with helping kids maybe love their experience with braces a little more. So
yeah, I think it's interesting the more you and I collaborate and talk, it's just the more synergy we see between WildSmiles and Details. You wouldn't think that just based on like the descriptions of who we are, but there's definitely a lot of synergies between us. I'm glad we have this partnership going.
Yeah, us too. We're so excited to bring this into what we're offering as a solution for our clients. So, yeah. So,
yeah,
you want to show the demo?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to jump in. For any of the participants or viewers watching as well, I'm happy to provide a full demo at any time. What I'm going to focus on today is just showing you how easy it is within the Details platform to order your WildSmiles products, as well as any other products that you would want to order for your orthodontic practice. If you would let me know if you can see my screen okay, Davin, that'd be great.
We can see it.
Awesome. So like I said, this is going to be a kind of a brief abbreviated version of what Details has to offer. I'd love to go into further details on the reportings and that kind of stuff that we have to offer within our platform. But a little bit before we jump in just to the demo itself, because you'll see some other things in here. Details is a place where you can order all of the supplies for your practice in one place. So when Davin talks about trying to save money or trying to save time rather for the practices and how yes, it might be kind of intuitive to order online with another company. That's still the 15th company you need to order from. So no matter how good your online ordering is, you're one of 20 that the practice has to visit. So what Details does is we take all of your suppliers, regardless of who they are, and we can put them into your Details platform. So anybody that you're ordering for, that could be toilet paper, it could be brackets, it could be wires, it could be, copy paper, coffee for the break room. If you order it for your practice, you can order it within the Details dashboard, all of your suppliers in one place. So it just makes sense to also have WildSmiles in there. If WildSmiles is one of your suppliers, they'll be automatically within your Details dashboard, along with any of the products that they have to offer at the time. So maybe you'd only order like one set of Disney, Mickey brackets before. We'll go ahead and put the elastics in there as well, so you kind of see what WildSmiles has to offer. But I'm going to go through real quick and show you how to order WildSmiles. First thing you do, and I always, this is like the part of my demo, typically when I feel like I'm talking down to the people that I'm giving the demo to, because I'm like, okay, now how to make a new order. You click new order. So it's not hard, it's super intuitive, but you'll click new order. We've got a couple different ways you can order. If your staff person's a wizard and can remember SKU numbers, you can type that in. Again, we're orthodontic exclusive. So all of the technology has been built specifically around orthodontics. You can search by that. You can search for just the product you're looking for the sake of this demo. I'm going to search for WildSmiles and see what's going on, if I can actually type it in. So whenever you type in WildSmiles, everything that WildSmiles has to offer is going to pop right up into your dashboard. So you can just scroll through and see what they have to offer. And here you'll see Disney elastics, you'll see some brackets, you'll see the hearts, Mickey, football in the dashboard here. For the sake of the demo, I'm going to go ahead and order. What shape should I order, Davin? What do you think? Should we go Mickey? Should we go football? What do you think?
I'm feeling hearts. Let's go with hearts.
Oh, let's go. That's fair. Let's go hearts. Let's go hearts. So I'll click on the hearts. One thing that's really cool, a cool feature, and this came from one of our clients, actually, one of our customers. I think Lauren from one of our offices said, what would be awesome is if we fill out these bracket cards, the chair side. Wouldn't that be cool if that was in Details? And so here it is in Details. This is a bracket card that you would normally kind of see on paper next to the chair. But this is something that you can just tab through and order quantities of each bracket that you need from WildSmiles. So you don't have to drop down every time to pick which shape. We're already, as you can see up top, ordering wild hearts. You'll see the sizing and all that kind of thing up top. And then you simply just tab through. So you need 3 of those, 3 of those, 3 of those, 3 of those.
Or 33. I like that.
Or 33. You want 30 of these, you want 300 of those. I mean, you kind of pick however much you want there. And what's cool is WildSmiles offers the upper 3 to 3, and we would already know that as details. So whenever you see this bracket card, you can't accidentally put in the wrong order or order the wrong anything like that. It's preloaded to only allow you to order what they have to offer in that SKU. So it just kind of, again, makes it a little easier for you. There's less that can go wrong, less that can be misinterpreted. So just do those quantities and you'll add that to your shopping list. For the sake of the demo, I'll go through and order some elastics too while we're at it from WildSmiles, because why not? I mean, you need those Disney elastics in your practice. So we'll go back to adding some more stuff to our shopping list. And this is what I want to show you, this kind of new feature that we just came out with. It's called the favorites, details favorites, which is where you can create lists of supplies that you order regularly. Like elastics is one of those supplies that makes sense. That you're going to order. You kind of figure, how much you're going to need per month or per quarter, whatever your ordering schedule is. And you can pre-save that as a favorites list. So say it's the first of the month and I'm sitting down to order. I can just come into my dashboard here, select my WildSmiles order, which is what I order every month. The quantities of boxes that I'm ordering of those elastics, and I can add that to my shopping list so that in seconds, all of my elastics that I order from WildSmiles are on my shopping list. You don't have to go through and even pick them anymore. So it's kind of a cool feature. You can do that with your brackets. You can do that with gloves. I mean, anything within details, you can create and customize a favorites list, which is kind of cool. And it just saves it for you. And then one click, add that to your shopping list. And you'll see that all of those are now on my shopping list. So then to order from there, you'll actually submit that to your concierge. And I can go into the concierge program here in a second, Davin. But that's as easy as it is. You go in, select what you want, add it to your shopping list and submit it over. You go back to your day, you go back to being clinical, and details handles the rest of making sure that your WildSmiles order is on the way.
I love that. And let me jump in here too, because I think this is a great time to kind of share a little bit about why WildSmiles is so excited about this partnership. We realized that no matter how awesome our online ordering platform was, that didn't make people use it more, because the problem that we were trying to solve, a problem that practices needed solved, was not that my system was easier to use. Right. It's extremely easy to use. The problem on why they're not using it is that they don't want another system to log into. And so when we saw details that not only do they allow the flexibility, like with the bracket card, that's awesome, with how you can just order individual brackets, because we don't require minimum orders. Once you're onboarded as a WildSmiles client, doctors can order just individual brackets as needed for any state, any shape. They can order upper 2 to 2, they can order upper 3 to 3, or they can just order the individual brackets they need. And so many other solutions out there don't allow that flexibility. And so when we saw that you guys were going in there and building out this extremely customized experience, but also keeping it super, super simple, and it solved the problem of, now I'm giving my clients an opportunity to, order just what they need when they need it. They get the reporting that they would get in our system, but now they get the reporting not just with our products, but all the products that they're using throughout the entire practice. Right. And that's a benefit to our clients. It's also a benefit to us, because they can go to one place and see everything. So I know I was interrupted your demo there, but that's a huge piece of why we love this partnership.
Yep, that's exactly right. We like the ability. We don't want there to feel like there's any sort of like restriction within the platform and that kind of thing for our supplier partners as well. I mean, we talk directly to practices all the time, but with people like you guys, we want it to be easy for you all as well to receive these orders. We want it to be easy for everybody involved. We want you guys to receive the orders well, how you guys want them, process those, and we want the practice to be able to continue to order. You make it easier and easier to order, so that they can keep up with all of the suppliers that they want to be testing out, such as like a WildSmiles. If you wanted to try something different, it's easy to add on without without causing a lot more work for your clinical staff person.
Yeah, that's awesome. So were you finished with the demo, or did you want to go into?
Yeah, I just wanted to show real quick how to order those two things, and want to make sure you can see the just how quickly the ordering process is.
Super simple. I mean, really, I mean, I didn't time you, but I mean,
Quick,
I'd
yeah.
venture to say you ordered, a number of sets and our elastics in like under a minute.
Yeah, it's
For
interesting.
sure.
At the AAO, I'm sure you were there. You were there cheering us on. But we did the how fast can you order 5 different supplies from 5 different suppliers using details. And the winner. Speaking of timing, the winner of this year was 28.1 seconds. That was the winning time. 5 suppliers, 5 different supplies. So
5 supplies, but each one from a separate supplier
different supplier. Yeah, they
in
got
28 seconds.
in 28.1 seconds.
Man, that is.
Yeah, so it's impressive. It's definitely quick. That's our goal. We want to save the time up front, but the real time savings or most of the time savings that comes from that is just that back and forth that people have to do with suppliers. I mean, I'm sure you as a supplier, it's like, are you sure you wanted that, or is that correct? And there's some back and forth. There's a human element required there, and that's where we can step in and save the practice real time.
I mean, I don't know why. I mean, from a supplier perspective, if my goal as a supplier is to offer the best products and the best service to my clients, and I know that one of the problems my clients are having is I have to log into 20 different places to order all the products I need, or more
Right.
logins, then I mean, even just from a supplier perspective, I don't know why there would be a lot of hesitation from other suppliers. So
Sure.
we want to open it up to the question and answer section. And we actually already have a question here. So let me pull it up. Great question. So it says, how does this work with Mary's List discounts? And so Addison, I'm gonna let you guys set it up, but just so everybody knows, both WildSmiles and Details are partnered with Mary's List. So why don't you take it in terms of your thing, and then I'll take it after that.
Yeah, absolutely. So as far as Mary's is concerned, Mary's a great partner of ours. We've been partnered with her for some time now. She's amazing. And actually, per Mary herself, Details is one of the better, but the best power up that you can have for your Mary's List membership. And I think what she meant by that is, Mary's List is a great tool within the industry. It's, she's negotiated some of the best pricing, with a ton of these great suppliers. And it's a great tool to have within your practice, but it's a tool that still needs to be used, right? So we're able to come in and help you maximize your Mary's List savings by intimately understanding upcoming deals that are going on currently, what suppliers are and are not on Mary's List. Is there suppliers out there that that you're ordering from that don't know you're on Mary's List? I mean, there's a lot that we can do to help maximize that Mary's List membership on the back end. It's a little extra work for the practice. It's a lot of extra work for the practice to really go through and, if this one has a sale, or if this one's got something going on, and to add those, suppliers, set up accounts, all of this kind of stuff to really be maximizing and using your Mary's List membership. It just takes time. Some practices don't have that, but Details can help you use that to its full potential without costing the practice any additional time. So and that goes with Mary's List. Any discounts that you are entitled to that you've even negotiated on your behalf, Details will continue those for you, and make sure that you're maximizing those.
So I mean, it's a one-stop shop.
100%.
Yeah. Well, and so I'll just share a little bit. So WildSmiles is on Mary's List, and so if you're a Mary's List provider, you get some discounted pricing and that kind of thing with WildSmiles. We don't provide discounts as a general rule. There are some pricing tiers and those kinds of things. And so Mary's List is kind of our partnership with how we can provide discounts to our providers. So if you're not on Mary's List, we suggest you check it out for sure.
Sure.
But in terms of how WildSmiles works, so if you're a WildSmiles provider and you're using Details, then your Mary's List discount pricing is already loaded into your account from day one. And so then you don't even have to question it. You can just go in and look, and you'll see that, boom, all the pricing is already in there and updated. So again, like Addison was saying, super simple. Anything else to add on that question? Because we actually have another question already.
Nice.
All right. So this one says, how does someone enroll with details? And what all orthodontic products are currently on board with details? And what are
Off the list.
what all are off the list? Sorry. Yeah.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. So to get started with details is pretty simple. What we like to do, I mean, we promise to save you time and money. So costing you a ton of time up front is not a good start, right? So that's like dabbing, promising more starts and them going down. That's not our goal. So we make it very easy to get started. We have a very simple onboarding form that you fill out that kind of let us know about your suppliers. Super simple to get actually started and get a little bit more information. I'd love to set up a demo. We've got an opportunity to do that here at the end of the webinar. I can go into a little bit more details about, no pun intended, some more details about the platform and what we have to offer and how to get started in our onboarding process. Again, very simple. We try to keep it on our end for the majority and leave your staff to be clinical during that time. And then what was the other questions? So what all orthodontic products are currently on board? So an interesting question here. This is a question we get a lot, actually, Davin. So one thing about us, that the best way to think about us almost as a company, and especially that concierge that gets assigned specifically to your practice, that then does and handles all of that heavy lifting on the back end for all of your orders. We're more of an extension of your practice. We're sort of a fractional supply coordinator for your practice. So we can operate on behalf of your practice. And that allows us to order really from anybody that you would be able to order from. So we don't have a list of anybody that you have to order from. Nothing's forced in your dashboard, and we don't have a list of people you can't order from either, even up into including Amazon, etc. As an example, or Target.com. If you can order it for your practice, we can order it for you as well. So nothing really off limits there. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, I think that answers it for me for sure. All right, so another question that is coming in is let's see here.
Perfect.
Some good questions tonight.
No.
I'm not sure that's a question. SI. I don't know what that means. Do you know what that means?
Yes. I think I said, did I answer your question? And they said, yes.
Yes. Gotcha.
Awesome. Yes, there it is. Yes. I was right.
Okay. Yes. Gotcha. Thank you. You speak technology better than I do.
Well, it's Spanish, but yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. The other question that we had was just about the concierge system.
Yeah, good question. Yeah,
I know you've mentioned concierge.
Yes.
But I would love for you to go in a little bit more detail about what that looks like kind of in practice.
Yeah.
And what they bring to the benefit, to the service.
For sure. Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah. That's one of our key differentiators. What makes us different, what makes us stand out from some of these other people that have tried with procurement or inventory. The concierge, and when we say concierge, this is a real person from our team. This is a person who's an expert in ordering orthodontic supplies from our team, who we assign specifically to your practice. So you'll have one point of contact with us, someone you can lean on, someone that you'll get to know over time. They'll get to know your practice, your ordering preferences, etc. And I'm probably preaching to the choir here with the practices, but there are times where you just don't have time to look up new things and to like do research and to do price comparison. And there are times where you just don't have it, and you have to err on the side of convenience over what's best for your business bottom line. And that's the concierge's main job. So what the concierge does when you submit those orders, like I showed you in the demo earlier, the concierge receives that. The concierge is then bringing in or seeing those orders, consolidating those, looking outward, and then placing those orders with all of the prospective suppliers that you had ordered from. So that's why at the practice level, you don't need to worry about how many suppliers are on the list, etc. You order what you need, and your concierge will then go and place those orders. While they're doing that, they're double checking pricing. They're making sure you're actually getting the best pricing on those. They're making sure you're getting that Mary's List discount. If something's back ordered, we're not just going to send you an email that says go fish. We're going to go find you that product from somewhere else, an alternative supplier, whatever that looks like, to make sure that you get that product, and present you with some options there. So it's someone who's, like I said, that kind of fractional supply coordinator that comes alongside you, and works directly with you, on your ordering, helps you, work towards goals with ordering. If you're trying to get to like a monthly ordering system, or something like that, that's someone you can really lean on, who's got experience in the industry, who understands these suppliers and the products and how to save you money on the back end.
Well, I love that because, I'm going to be honest. I mean, the concierge concept was a huge piece that helped us to really see a lot of added value in what Details is offering versus, anybody else that we could partner with on anything. Because we take our customer service extremely seriously. And we believe that that's even something that we have that is a differentiator in the market for our company and our product. We sell a product, but we really are offering a service to come alongside. And that's why when a new practice onboards with WildSmiles, we don't just, say, here's your brackets, call us when you need more. We have created a system where every practice that onboards with us, gets this high level of service, where I always say WildSmiles is not rocket science, but it is something new to your practice. And so we're going to hold your hand along the way so that you understand, where to go to get all of our support materials, what kind of materials we have. We're going to hold your hand on how to order. We're going to introduce you to the product, partnership with Details so that you can make your ordering super simple across your entire practice. We're going to come into your practice and learn about your workflows and show you how WildSmiles jumps in there. And I say all of that because that, again, going back to the concierge, because we bring a concierge level of service to our providers. And that was a huge piece of, if we're going to partner with anybody on anything outside of our company, they really have to have the same mindset. And when, I had a conversation with Dr. Biggs, years ago, and then with Nick, and then with you, and then with the rest of the team. And, it's become very apparent to us that you guys take that super, super seriously as well. And that's evident in this concierge service piece. And so I just want to commend you guys for seeing that, because like you said at the very beginning, nobody else is solving this problem. And you guys are so far ahead of anything out there. So thank you for that.
Thank you for the kind words. Yeah, we're definitely aligned on the customer service side of things. I mean, like you said, it's, I may not be from orthodontics, but orthodontists understand customer service. I mean, it's a business. People have to have a good time within your practice. They share that experience, and we feel very much the same way on our end of things too. We want to make sure your practices are having on something that's typically not fun to do. We want them to have a little bit of relief there and a little bit of fun doing it, where it's not such an overwhelming thing that then translates into your patient care and that kind of stuff within your practice, and keep them happy and satisfied and stress-free.
I love it. We got another question coming in. Can you read it on your end? It's not in Spanish this time.
No, this is fully okay. We got, do all the normal shipping costs apply? So that's a really good question. Shipping eats alive bottom lines, especially it seems like especially in orthodontics. We've run into, I would say you'd be surprised, but you probably wouldn't, all who are listening. But we oftentimes, when we're going through a practice or trying to help them, correct the ship, etc. They'll here's an order for a $22 item. They paid $64 to have it shipped in, and it's like, well, that seems inefficient, right? So shipping is a huge part of that. Your concierge will be actively working to help group orders that you may not have necessarily thought about grouping, consolidating even between suppliers to try to cut down on ordering from so many. There's a lot that we can do on our end to be super conscious of the shipping costs. We even, negotiated with some suppliers on, trying to get free shipping, et cetera, on behalf of clients who have been longtime customers. Again, we operate on behalf of the practices. So we try to take advantage of that for you. But just having somebody really pay attention to that part of things, having somebody who understands, shipping timeframes, turnaround times. If you absolutely have to have it Thursday, it's $40. But if you're okay with having it Friday, it's 10. I mean, there's just little nuances that you can watch for that at the practice level. We don't expect you to have time to do, because that's a lot of time to like track, like do the math on shipping. We understand that. It's hard enough to do the math on the product. So we do that kind of on your behalf in the back end, mainly with the concierge through a mixture of technology, and then just having somebody, have their eyes on it for you.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. And you guys, we have a pretty simple shipping policy. And so I think with you guys being able to help practices, maintain that, it's great. So we have two questions that are kind of related. One is specifically, is WildSmiles available in Canada? And then someone is asked about, what about overseas orders? So in terms of the WildSmiles being available in Canada, yes, WildSmiles is available all over the world. We can ship in pretty much every country. We do a lot of business in Canada, and we have a lot of practices in Canada. So it's very simple. It's the same as in the United States in terms of how we support your practice with training and marketing. And then reorders are the same in terms of just reorder the products that you need. Now, Addison, I'll let you take kind of that question for Canada, specifically how WildSmiles would work in Canada with your system, and then also just in general overseas orders.
Yep. I mean, we're available in Canada as well. So what's nice about that is your WildSmiles will be in your dashboard under, everything you need, just as you would if you were in the US. So no difference between that. The ordering process that I demonstrated earlier, demo, all that kind of stuff is the same for Canadian practices. We're happy to do that and work with your Canadian suppliers as well. What about overseas orders? My answer to that would be sort of a non-answer. It would depend. I think it would depend on what it is you're ordering, et cetera. If it's something that you're regularly ordering, possibly it's going to depend on the supplier with something like that. I don't think we're definitely not opposed to anything like that. It would just kind of depend on that situation specifically. I'm not sure what would be ordering and that kind of stuff, but shouldn't be a problem. But as a one-off, have to kind of see what it's about.
Awesome. Yeah, great. Well, we've had a lot of questions, and I think hopefully provided some really great answers for them. If there are any other questions, I will be continuing to monitor that as we kind of close up, but I am going to go ahead and move on beyond, because we want to be honoring of everybody's time. We know it's the evening and everybody's got, families and other stuff that they probably could be doing. So we appreciate that you're taking this time out. So specifically, we want to talk about next steps. So if you guys are interested in learning more about either of our companies or how we work together, how we're really going to be a benefit to your practice, like Addison said, maybe go into a full-on demo or something like that. We have these two QR codes. And so simply scan them both and it'll pull up a web page where you can take the next step with both of our companies. And I think in both cases, right, Addison, it's basically looking over some information and then, scheduling a demo.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll take you to kind of our main site there, a couple of testimonials, some abouts on what we are, and plenty of places to click schedule a demo. It'll be with myself, and I look forward to going into a little bit more detail. Again, no pun intended, right? Every time it comes out, I'm like, I'm not trying to be punny, but it's just a word.
But it works so well.
I know, it's just like it just flows out. Yeah. So I'd love to go into more details. Yeah.
And I love the name of this webinar, by the way. We didn't really address that, but the details often stress people out so much.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. And so I think that's why when we talked about simplicity in the details, because that is what you guys are doing. That's the problem you're solving. It's it's wonderful. So I think it's great. All right, we're gonna move on to the next slide. So we'll come back to this. Oh, actually, no. So maybe there's not a slide in here. Did you guys have anything you wanted that we're talking about for if they take a next step from this webinar or anything like that?
Nope, just get on, hop on the website there, the QR, hit schedule a demo. There's a couple different places to do that. And there's also some testimonials on there. So I look forward to hearing from you guys.
I mean, you guys are awesome. So, I mean, there's no more really needed. I think it's,
I mean, hop on, we'll have a good time. At least it'll be a good conversation no matter what.
That is one thing I've always appreciated about our time together, Addison, is we at least always have a good conversation. So
yeah, whether or not it's productive, it goes day by day, but yeah, we at least it's not a chore to chit chat with you.
No, yeah, absolutely. I feel the same way. Well, Addison, if there are no more questions, which I mean, we had a lot of really great questions, so we appreciate everybody throwing them out there and engaging. It sounds like a lot of the folks probably found this helpful. So that's really was our goal, was to provide you with some content that might make your life a little easier. Is there anything else you wanted to add, Addison, before we log off?
Not necessarily. We appreciate you putting this together. We look forward to keep working with you guys. And I would love to share more about details and specifically how we work with WildSmiles. Book that demo and we'll chat soon.
Awesome. Great. Well, again, we got the slide up here, so we'll keep this up until we log off. But thank you, Addison, for your time. Thank everybody that attended for your time. And we wish you much success in your practice this year. And if we can be a part of that, we would love it. And we thank you so much. So have a great evening, everybody. And until next time.
Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for everything.
See ya.